So when it comes to canine exercise equipment, without a doubt, there's one set of products that pretty much all of us in the rehab industry use worldwide, and that's FitPaws. And with us today on Canine Longevity is the CEO of Paw Prosper, Ryan DeCare. Thank you so much for joining us, Ryan.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
So you have such a diverse background, very specialized background, extremely talented. Tell us, how did you end up going down this path to canine exercise and fitness?
It was a very lucky stumble, as I'd like to put it. We were very fortunate to meet Carrie and Lindsay, who are the founders of Help 'em Up, which was the first brand that we came across. And as we were getting to know them, we looked around and said, wow, there's a budding industry here of people that are putting together products that help pets not only with rehabilitation, but with fitness and general wellness. And we think that we might be able to bring them all together and create a platform where it's easy for both professionals and pet parents to find things. And that thesis has so far been right, and it's been a lot of fun over the last couple of years. But we were just quite lucky to stumble into the first one, and then as pet owners, it's relatable and it's a fun business to build.
So if I understand correctly, as I was digging deeper into Paw Prosper, there's a whole lot of devices, and actually we use them in our clinic as well. As I was checking off the boxes, Help 'em Up harness, as you mentioned, and even laser therapy.
Yeah, lasers, Help 'em Up harness, Muffin's Halo for blind dogs, travel products to help pets stay safe in the car. There's a wide range of products that are helping pets to prevent injuries, to age gracefully, and to rehabilitate when they have had an injury.
So when it comes to exercise for our canine companions, is this something that you've always had a desire to work with, or is this something you've worked on with your own pets at home, or what sort of led you into that specific area when it came to exercise for the canine companion?
Of course, it's a lot of fun as a pet owner. So I came at this from a non-technical, non-science background. So I had to learn it all on the fly as we were learning the industry. And one of the great tests for me when we've brought a brand into our family of brands is, can I use this product as a pet owner myself? And so the first test was buy a Fitbone, a canine Fitbone from FitPaws, and see if I can get my 10-year-old dog, teach an old dog new tricks. And he learned it right away. Wow. And I was sold at that point. And so as we were bringing the business into the fold, and FitPaws into the fold, we got familiar with the products, trying them out, testing them out, and you learn pretty quickly. This is a lot of fun, not only for you, but for your pet. And it's a great bonding exercise and keeps them healthy and mentally sharp.
So you mentioned 10-year-old dog,
Yeah.
Your 10-year-old dog. Can you use this in young dogs as well? And if in young dogs, at what age should you or can you consider starting to use the exercise equipment?
The great thing about FitPaws is it can be used from puppy all the way to your most senior dog who's trying to stay mentally engaged or to rehabilitate from an injury or just to stay as fit as they can as they age. We like to say the best time to start puppies is when they start to get their feet under them, somewhere around 6 months. A lot of our products have neurostimulation bumps, so it helps with proprioception. So it gets them used to where their paws are. They get a sense for where they are in their space, which makes it safer for them to train as they age, and they get used to the products early. So I think as early as 6 months, all the way up to the most senior pets can use FitPaws, and that's really the fun part of it.
So that's for home use, for canine companions. Are these then used for rehabilitation therapy at rehab centers as well? Is that something that FitPaws uses commonly?
Absolutely. And I think you mentioned it at the beginning of the segment that you have our products in your rehab clinics that's used at thousands of rehab clinics across North America and actually around the world now as well. It can be used whether you're trying to engage muscle groups after a surgery to slowly bring a pet back to its mobility. It can be used to test the most high-performing pets as they're training for agility. So you can be used from everything from the most basic rehabilitation all the way up to high-performance athletes.
And I think where we're talking about exercise, clients, pet parents get confused. It's just like for you and I, we're like, why walk every day? I'm going for a walk, that's exercise. And I think that's the misconception for pet parents as well. They're like, well, I'm taking my dog for long walks 3 times a day. Can you explain how this is different? Using these types of exercise equipment and modalities a little different than just taking your dog for a walk 3 times a day. Explain a little bit about how, I don't want to get into the physiology necessarily, but how important it is for them to use these types of devices.
Of course. I mean, we did a campaign last year called "Walks Are Not Enough," and I think the best comparison is to human fitness. If you think about your own exercise routine, maybe you'll get some time on the treadmill or on an elliptical, but that's only one component of staying fit and staying healthy. The great thing about FitPaws is there's such a range of products and then a range of difficulty and ways that you can coordinate the products together to target different muscle groups, to target different issues the pet might be having. And so there's so many different ways to go about it to target smaller areas that you may want to focus on, or that your veterinarian or your trainer has suggested that your pet could benefit from. So just to go for a walk, that's only really one piece of the puzzle. If you want to focus on a specific part that the pet needs for their own fitness and well-being, FitPaws allows you to target that in a number of different ways.
So do you recommend then they see their veterinarian first or a rehab therapist to learn which device to purchase and how to use that device? What's your recommendations in that
We
regard?
always recommend that you talk with a veterinarian or a professional first. It's the way that you stay safe with the equipment. The equipment is not a toy. It's exercise equipment. So it's important that you talk to a professional that knows what's best for the pet. That being said, we also have a lot of getting started videos and information available for the pet parent, but we do suggest that it's always best to talk to a professional first.
So they see their veterinarian or their rehabilitation therapist. Maybe they're going in once a week for rehab. Would you see this as a supplement? Because many times we're seeing a patient just once a week, but we need to exercise more than just once a week. We're not going to see the benefits. So they would have these at home to supplement in between the formal rehab sessions.
Of course, I think that's most of the time where a pet parent will become exposed to FitPaws. They'll go to their rehabilitation session. They'll see something that's used there. They'll see that their dog is engaged with it and is using it and is enjoying it. And they say, well, I need to continue to do this between sessions. And so they'll buy it for home as well. That's not too dissimilar from human physical therapy and rehabilitation. You're going once a week, but you need to keep doing the exercises. That's how you get the most out of the program. So it's important to have it at home as well.
So if pet parents are interested in going down this route and want to purchase, there's so many devices. If you go to your website, there's just so many. How will they know where to start? And like which device? I mean, I have some clients, especially my performance style clients, they're going to buy them all. Actually, they probably already have them all. But for the average pet parent, where would they start as far as which ones do they purchase?
So the first thing I would suggest is there's a broad range of content. If you go to our YouTube channel, there's tens of videos on the YouTube channel that you can see how the product is used. There's also, if you go to something like our Instagram, you'll see a ton of users that have sent us videos of how they're using it in the field. That gives you a sense of how people are using FitPaws, what can you do with your dog? And then of course, you then talk to your professional or your rehabilitation specialist, and they can help you decide what the right place to start is. We have a wide range of equipment, from a simple balance pad, which is a foam pad that creates a little bit of instability, all the way up to very challenging wobble boards or very challenging inflatable products that the more air you add, the more challenge you're adding for the pet. So it's not, even if you buy one piece of equipment, generally you can start it at a low level of inflation or at a beginner level, and that one piece of equipment grows with the pet's ability, and you can make it more challenging as they improve and get used to it as well. So the range of products starts from the most simple, basic balance pad all the way up to very, very challenging equipment, and you don't have to spend a lot. You can have one piece of equipment that goes from beginner all the way to advanced.
So if a pet parent's interested, then they can call in possibly and talk to one of your service representatives or someone at your site and ask a little bit of questions of, hey, which one should I reach out for? And then they can place the order directly with them, or do they go online? Or
yeah, good question. So our team's always happy to help and answer questions. If you go to fitpaws.com, you can reach out to us through fitpaws.com if you have questions. All of our products are available on fitpaws.com. It's the best place to start and where you can find everything in one place.
So we talk about the pillars of health and longevity, and we talk about nutrition, exercise, which obviously FitPaws falls under. What about mental stimulation? We talk about mental awareness, cognitive function. Do you believe that there's some degree of that when it comes to using these types of devices?
Absolutely, and especially because you can test and challenge your pet with what you want them to do. It's not them simply standing on the equipment. They're actively engaging with the equipment. They're on the equipment, they're off the equipment, they're moving in certain ways that you're guiding them to do. And so that takes cognition ability. It's mentally stimulating. And I think there's a lot of research that's come out recently that mental stimulation is just as important, if not more important, than physical movement as well. And so we have to have both pieces. And the great thing about FitPaws is it's challenging your pet both physically and mentally. And especially, I've found it, as I mentioned, my 10-year-old dog is now 12 or 13 years old. He's still using it all the time. And I think it's part of the reason why he's in such good shape as he is at his age. We're constantly working on it. He has a lot of fun. It's a great bonding exercise, and it makes him think.
Yeah, it's a great exercise for bonding. It's just another one of the things that you can do to engage. And you nailed it on the head, just like in humans, keeping yourself active as you get older, keeping exercise and keeping yourself challenging. These are challenging. Some of those devices, I see them at the clinic, they're not easy. I've tried to get on a few. They're not easy. But I can't thank you enough for taking the time, for being here. This is such an incredible device. Your product line in your portfolio is fantastic. Really excited about some of the new products I know you have coming out on the horizon.
Yes, of course.
And I'm Dr. Sherman Canapp with Canine Longevity. And remember, it's all about your pet's health span, not just lifespan.
Good girl, Fachi.